we want to keep in mind that the actual event began on the evening of July 2nd, 1947. So if we look at this map here, over on the left part here, you've got the touchdown site. Something interesting happened here at the touchdown site. We had fused green glass and a completely seamless black box that was discovered by Lincoln La Paz and Louis Rickett from the 509th Bomb Group. It's almost never talked about. There was a seamless black box found. We don't know today if that was ever opened up. Now, 5 nautical miles south of the touchdown site is the debris field. That's where there were 3 types of debris that we'll talk about in a little bit, where all these little debris were scattered over the Foster Ranch. Now keep in mind, the trajectory is from the northwest to the southeast. That's where I've got the arrows here. And you can see the second body site is just a little bit east of the debris field, where at least 2 bodies were discovered that came out from an escape pod. So we're still heading southeastbound. Now we've got the impact site. That's what everybody's familiar with. A grand total of 5 bodies were recovered and 1 was still alive. So what I want to do now is I want to take you to the site. This is what it looks like if you were there today. It hasn't changed much in all these years. If you went out there today, this is essentially what you'd be seeing within the vicinity of the crash site itself. Now, we are on the morning of July 3rd, 1947. We've got Ranger Matt Brazel and we've got 7-year-old Timothy D. Proctor. And what they discovered is a 200-foot long trench that's about 12 feet across. And all of this debris, there were 3 types of debris. There was this very small, thin material, could not be cut, could not be burned, could not be hit or damaged with a 16-pound sledgehammer. Other debris, the so-called memory metal, where you could fold this up and you could crinkle it. And then when you let it out of your hand, it would unfold like liquid mercury and then settle back to the floor. That was debris number 2. Debris number 3 were these small and medium-sized I-beams with very intricate hieroglyphic writing on the inside wall of the I-beam. Those are the 3 types of debris that were discovered. So now, we already talked about the morning of the 3rd, so it's the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the evening of the 7th, and then the daytime retrieval operation began on the morning of the 8th. So whatever biological material was there, you can see was already starting to decompose. Now, what we've got here is the egg-shaped craft with a dome on top. That is the actual configuration. You can forget about a manta ray-shaped craft or a dish-shaped craft. It was a size of a Volkswagen, about 13 feet across with a dome on top. There was a hull breach on the side of the craft. In the background, we've accurately depicted the 18-wheeler tractor-trailer lowboy. And according to Don Schmidt, the whole entire operation took place within the vicinity of a windmill and water tank. Also, it's interesting to note that the 509th Bomb Group did not have a crane at the time, so there was an independent contractor from Roswell that brought in a crane. They lifted up the craft, put it on the 18-wheeler tractor-trailer, and now I want to take you to the next slide here. We're going to go down Main Street. You can do this route today. You can take this route today and follow the exact convoy that the Jeeps and the 18-wheeler tractor-trailer lowboy with this egg-shaped craft on a tarp went right down Main Street. There were 2 paper boys that saw this. There were multiple eyewitnesses that saw this entire operation as it's going down Main Street. So we have those witnesses. Now, going into Hangar P3 Building 84 at Roswell Army Airfield. This would have been plus or minus 4:15, about 5 minutes plus or minus 4:15 p.m. on July 8th, 1947. They're bringing in the bodies. They're bringing in the small-statured, child-sized caskets that we've heard about from Glenn Dennis. That's all in this operation. You can see over here, we've got the crash site vehicle itself, and it's important to note that by this time, it was a chaotic situation. The first body flight had already flown up by Peppy Henderson in a C-54 directly to Wright Field, Dayton, Ohio. So it's a real chaotic scene here. Now, next thing that happened, which isn't talked about very much, once they loaded up the caskets with the bodies, they put that into a wooden crate. That wooden crate was lowered into atomic bomb pit number 1 over at the base there, 519th Bomb Group. The next thing they happened is they put 2 perimeter screens around that bomb pit with MP stationed with carbides inside and out of each wall, and told to shoot to kill anyone who would try to breach these perimeter screens. Now, I asked the question, all for a weather balloon? You're going to set up a perimeter for a weather balloon? Something's not checking out here. Now, how do we get this thing out of Roswell to 509th or Fort Worth, Texas, 8th Air Force? They had B-29 straight flush. So they taxied over the B-29 to the atomic bomb pit. They had a hydraulic lift that lifted the crate with the bodies inside the bomb pit of the cargo bay of B-29 straight flush, and then flew over to 8th Air Force, Fort Worth, Texas.